Yeah. So, loan and own, some people have heard of it as slow flip. I do that, but with a few tweaks of my own. But essentially, we're providing affordable housing for people that would never qualify for traditional mortgage. And that is our mission first and foremost. And we do that through combining different forms of creative financing. So the main thing is, we are the bank. We that is probably the biggest challenge of the mindset you have to be in when you start this real estate investment strategy is that you're not a landlord, you're the bank.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host today, Skyler Byrd, and I am joined by Mat Yuriditsky. Sorry, Matt, you have a
Yes,
tough
sir.
last name to say.
All good.
But hey, I'm
All good.
super excited that you're on, man. I'm super excited because you've got an interesting investing strategy, and not only you're doing that, but you're educating people on how to do the same. So again, I'm happy you're here. I know I'm going to learn a lot from this. I hope everybody out there does as well. So welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I am really stoked to be here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I just want people to learn as much about real estate as possible. I'm very passionate about real estate. So love spreading the word.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go ahead. We'll get right into it here. First of all, tell me about loan and own. What is it? What does it entail? Because it's the first you telling me a little bit earlier. It's the first time I've heard of it. So floor is yours.
Yeah. So, loan and own, some people have heard of it as slow flip. I do that, but with a few tweaks of my own. But essentially, we're providing affordable housing for people that would never qualify for traditional mortgage. And that is our mission first and foremost. And we do that through combining different forms of creative financing. So the main thing is, we are the bank. We that is probably the biggest challenge of the mindset you have to be in when you start this real estate investment strategy is that you're not a landlord, you're the bank. And so what does that really mean? I don't do any rehab. I don't rent. I'm the bank. I'm not, a landlord. So I'm not answering the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning with a leaky, overflowing toilet. And, I think just that alone, people look at me like I'm crazy. And that's the part that I think a lot of people have just never heard of. And we do it, I don't know how in the weeds you want me to get yet, but basically the strategy is very simple. It is a formula, and I can tweak the formula, but the foundation of it is you get $30,000 private money loan. Private money is not from a bank. It is not traditional financing. It could be from your friends, family. I have private money lenders, that people that I have never met. And so when people say it's impossible to get money, I have got private money lenders that I've never even done a Zoom phone call with. I have talked to them on the phone one time, and they have wired me $30,000. So, and I'm not kidding. And this has happened several times. So you take a private money loan, $30,000. What are you offering them? The opportunity is 12% interest on a 5-year term, and you're making them monthly payments of $667.33 a month, like clockwork, automated. They're getting a little bit more than $10,000 of interest over that 5-year term. It is an amazing investment. And for people who want to diversify, 12%, you don't even get that in the stock market. So it's a fantastic opportunity, which is why people will give you their money. And then you take that money and you buy a property for $30,000 or less. You pay all cash. And then you take that and you seller finance it, meaning I am the bank. I'm providing the financing to typically a first-time home buyer. I just sold a house on Saturday to a single mother of 2 who was pregnant with her third. She's a first-time home buyer. She was renting and wanted a home for her growing family. And so that's what I was able to do. And who's doing this? Well, it's people that, these are not criminals. They're not bad people. They're just people who can't qualify for traditional mortgage, which, by the way, is a majority of the people in the country, So it's the only vetting process for me is they have a $2,500 down payment. There's no credit checks. There's no background checks. I'm the bank, so I get to make the rules. This is not like Wells Fargo where you have to give them, 6 months pay stubs, 2 years tax returns. There's none of that. If you have the down payment, first come, first serve, you get the house. And that's how I've done it. I've been, quite successful doing it, but, really successful for me financially, but also successful for providing opportunities for people that would never have them.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
No, absolutely. So I guess my first question about all this, and I've got a few, how are you finding properties for that price point? Because that's the first thing I want to
a
know.
great question. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very good question, and is one of the top 3 questions I get. They are everywhere is my answer. They are freaking everywhere. I live in Los Angeles. I invest in Little Rock, Arkansas. I have never been to Little Rock, Arkansas. I have no intention of ever going to Little Rock, Arkansas. I don't even know anyone in Little Rock, Arkansas. So that brings up another point, is virtual investing. A lot of people will be dead in the water because they say, well, I live in Los Angeles. You can't even buy a garage for $30,000, which is true. But that's why you go look at other places. You can go on ChatGPT right now and say, give me the top 20 markets where I can find a property for $30,000. Ohio, Indiana, Arkansas, Birmingham, Alabama. They're everywhere. They're freaking everywhere. And so that's a common question, but such an easy question to shoot down where, oh, they don't exist. They absolutely exist. 100% they exist. I bought a house, on the house that I just sold on Saturday. It was listed for $35,000 on market. This will be another question. How do you find these properties? This property was on market. Anyone with Zillow has access to this property. It was on market for over 60 days. So I have a saying, I sniff blood. If it's been on the market for more than 60 days, that is a gold mine waiting to happen. And I don't buy unless I make them cry. So it was $35,000. I offered them $15,000. They came back at 20 and we closed at 20. I have a house that I just sold. I bought it for $20,000. I sold it on a 30-year mortgage for $69,000, $55 a month, and it was $2,500 down. I gave her a deal. I gave it to her for $1,000 because the place needed 7 new windows and a toilet. It didn't even have a toilet. It had windows busted out. It had been a former trap house. It was And so again, I want to set people up for success. I'm not trying to rip people off. So I said, you know what? I'll take $1,000 because I want you to have money left to go and make this livable. Why would I take a
Okay.
thousand and not take zero? I'm just going to ask my own questions right now because I just
There
know
you go.
these are the questions.
Yeah.
Why would I take 1,000? I require 1,000 because you have to have skin in the game. I need to
Mhm.
know that you are committed. And that's really the one of the only reasons. I just want to know that you're committed. The first property I bought, it was for a single mother of 2 kids. I'm a sucker for single moms with kids. I mean, because that's kind of what I'm doing. And she said that she didn't have the down payment. I said, "Don't worry." She gave me the first month's mortgage payment, which for that house was $795. And I said, "You could pay me the down payment over like the next couple months." Within the first 2 weeks, she was already missing the payments. After a month, she said, "Mr. Matt, I can't do it. I'm going to leave the keys on the counter and walk out." So even in this situation, I didn't even have to evict her. She voluntarily left. And the property was in better condition than when I got it because she had spent the last month cleaning it, thinking that she was going to
Yeah.
move in. And I said, I'm never going to do that again because even though I thought I was doing her a favor, I didn't do her a favor. She gave me $795 for a house that she never lived in, and I wasted a month of having my house tied up when I could have got $2,500 down. I turned around, sold it in 2 weeks, $2,500 down, and $895 a month for that house. So you have to be strategic in how you do people favors and how you structure the deal because you don't want to set someone up for failure. And so, that was a learning process, but
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
No, no, no. It's starting to make more sense now because now I kind of understand you're not putting any work into these properties. It's just
hmm
you're
hmm
selling them to people, as is. It's them. They have to take it upon themselves to do any work that needs to be done to it to make it livable for
yep,
them. That's on them. Okay.
hmm
All right. That makes
right.
sense. Got it. All right. So now you're at a point where you've done this process, you're refining it, and you're actually at a point where you're starting to teach people how to do it as well. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. So, I have a
Okay.
six-figure business coach who I've been working with him for over a year. And, it's funny because one, I do believe in paying for education and for coaches to take those shortcuts. And one of the thing when we first started was what did I want to be a coach on? Believe it or not, it was not real estate. And we talked about it for like 2 months. And then one day it just hit me in the face. I said, wait, why am I not doing this? And it seems so obvious, but it wasn't. It really was because I think I had imposter syndrome. And then once I realized that and I talked to people and I see their expression and they have no clue, a light bulb went off and said, well, wait, this is what I need to be teaching people. They don't even know it exists. Like this is, and people need to know this. They need to hear about it. And so that's how it happened. And that would have never happened without Ken, my business coach. And I mean, he's helped me a ton along the way so far. But we're building this free online community. It's 100% free. I initially was charging 10 grand and it didn't work. And really people are not just going to give you 10 grand. It takes a lot to gain people's trust and for them to feel like that you're worth even $10, let alone 10 grand. I said, screw this. I've already built out this course. I want to do it for free. Then we launched something called Loan and Own University. So we're on doing the first person now. We're about halfway through, but every quarter, every 3 months, I am going to take somebody who with zero experience from start to finish and walk them through the Loan and Own process. The only caveat is I get to record every session and I get to use it on social media and use those recordings so anyone can see them. And just based on the recordings, they could watch the recording and learn how to do it on their own. And I'm going to do a new person every quarter. And so again, it's just about giving massive value to people. And that's kind of the path that I'm on right now. And it's really exciting. I love being able to teach people. And I love seeing people's reactions. Even you're like, wait, you've never heard it, but
Never heard of it.
People have a lot of people have heard people a lot of people have heard of creative financing, but what's great about creative financing, you take all these little things and put them together, and that's what loan and own is taking private money, which is creative financing because I'm not using a traditional bank, and then I'm providing a seller financing to someone not using a traditional bank. That's also creative financing. Yeah, and it's been great on many levels.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Loan and Own University. I mean, I'm gonna go check that out because again, I think there's still I would still like to see what what's possible with this because again, it's something I've never heard of before. Actually, let me ask you, how did you find out about this? How did you start figuring it out? When that come about?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I've studied a lot of there's Pace Morby, a lot of people know him with sub 2 community. I was a student with Astro Flipping, which is Jamil Damji, and that's wholesaling. And Ron LeGrand, who's like the godfather of rent to own. And then there's Slow Flip, this guy Scott Jelinek. And so, it's very similar to Slow Flip. That model specifically really spoke to me. But I took it and I tweaked it in a few different ways. The main one right now is just being very mission driven. And like I said, I sell almost exclusively to first time home buyers, to families. I've only sold one property to an investor, and he's someone that's completely gutting the house, renovating it, and he's going to sell it. And so, the house, he's going to make it turning into a brand new house, and it's building up the entire block. The entire block that this house is on is going to be worth more money by the time this guy is done because of the appreciation that he's going to bring to the neighborhood. And so in this situation, it made sense because he's helping everyone that lives around there.
Absolutely. And let me ask you, so how do people find you in that regard? Because if they typically don't qualify for a traditional loan, how are you finding those people to come in and do the creative financing and do the seller financing?
That's great. That's an awesome question. And one of the most beautiful parts of this is that everything is free as far as the marketing. So I'm doing a majority, 99% of my marketing on Facebook Marketplace and on Craigslist because the people that are looking for my properties are not looking on the MLS. They're not even looking on Zillow.
Yeah.
I used to list on Zillow for sale by owner. It was a complete waste of time. They're just on Facebook. They're on Craigslist. I use what's called bandit signs. So I put signs in the front of the property. It says cheap house, no credit check, $2,500 down. That's very effective. And so anyone that messages me on Marketplace, I always have properties listed, whether they're available or not. I just leave them up. I don't mark them as sold. Every day, someone's saying, "Hey, is this available? Hey, is this available?" And I just say, "It's no longer available. Give me your name and number, and I'll add you to my VIP list." They gave me their name and number. I put it into my buyers list. And then as I get a property, the first thing I do is text blast anyone that has ever inquired about a property. So perfect example is this house that I sold. I sold it the same day that I sent text blasted it out. But what was unique about this one is the people that are current clients of mine, I still blasted out to them. So one of my current clients, Miss Jameson, she's paid her mortgage on time every month for 6 months. She said, "My daughter is interested. This house is
Yeah.
right down the street from the house that you sold us, and she's got 2 of my grandbabies and she's about to have another." She goes, "I think my daughter would be interested. She's renting and she would love to own her own home, and I would love for her to live down the street from us." So it went to a current client's daughter. So that word of mouth marketing is now starting to get momentum because they know that I'm going to do right by them. I'm not sleazy. I'm not going to rip people off. And now that I have their trust, now they're telling their friends and family about me. And so it's just word of mouth. Ultimately your reputation is what's going to start
Yeah.
selling the houses over time. And I'll get to a point where I won't even post it on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I have over 100 people in my buyers list. And look, a lot of people, it comes down to timing. I probably won't hear from 99 of those people for years. But one day, someone might say, "Oh my gosh, I've been getting your text blast for 3 years. I do want to buy a house. Or I just married an electrician. He could actually renovate this property for us, and it would be awesome." So
Yeah.
it's all about timing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I love it. So it's like you've got the creative financing end of it. You've got creative marketing, which by the way, I think the marketing that you do is awesome. I mean, with Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and then you just start building up that list. Because as you were even saying it before, you said it was somebody that, it was a client's daughter or somebody. It's like, oh man, you must get a ton of referrals because they're going to know people in the same situation. That's awesome.
And that's the
I
biggest
love it, man.
compliment. And another thing, what a lot of real estate investors spend time on, I don't get it. So I just have to mention it, is people spend all this money on sending out mailers, on making cold calls, on finding the deal. With loan and own, the only two ways I have bought a property is on market and from a wholesaler. That's it. That's the only way. I get properties on market. Half of them are on market. They've just been on the market for at least 60 days. And just because a property says it's 50 grand, that doesn't mean you can't offer 15 or 20. I don't buy unless I make them cry. You have to make an offer so insulting that it makes them want to cry. And so I do that. And then the other one is wholesalers. I'm on every wholesaler list. They send me properties and they get a fee, and I happily pay them. I will pay them the fee because they're saving me from having to do the legwork. So I have no problem with someone making money. You get wholesalers that are scared to show you what they got the property on. I said, I don't care if you're selling me a property for 30 grand and you got it for 10. I don't care. As long as it fits my buy box and I think it's a deal for me, I want you to make money, because when you see that I'm a legit buyer and I'm not going to nickel and dime you, you're going to start sending me your properties before you send them to anyone else. And that's what I want. Again, reputation is everything in this business.
Reputation, relationships, really all comes down to that. I
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely understand. All right. Well,
I don't spend a
Matt,
dime on
this
marketing.
was,
I don't spend a dime on
yeah,
anything.
I got to tell you, man, I got a ton out of this today. This was great, man. Thank you very
Thank you.
much for coming on. No,
Yeah,
we're kind of
thank you
coming
for
up on our
having me.
time here. Of course. No, this was great. And just before we head out here, can you tell people, like, if they're interested in learning how to do this, how can they find you? If they're interested in your
Yeah,
properties,
I'm
what
on
does
all
that look like
social
for you?
media platforms. So all social media, it's Matty Calls, Maty, Matty with one T, Calls, Matty Calls, CALLS, or my website, loan-own.com, loan-own.com. I have my property portfolio on there. You can see the properties I have. You could sign up for a call with me, or just follow me online and you'll see what I'm about. Yeah, regardless, hit me up and I will give you the link for my free course. It's totally free,
There you
free
go.
course, free community. If you have any, just get on there and just kind of, you can see what it's about. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Matt. Well, hey, again, thank you very much for coming on. This was so interesting. And everybody out there, hey, if you've got something of value from this conversation, please hit subscribe. We have got more conversations like this coming down the pipe all the time. And we will see you all in the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.